Good day, everyone. Welcome to this Chapter 6 mini lab. And we have known that methods often require more than one piece of information to perform their tasks. So we now consider how to write your own method with multiple parameters. So let's begin. And please follow me. First, let's launch our IntelliJ. Double click. And then let's now new a project. We give it a name, week 8. Let's create. Now we are in the project week 8 and let's click the source code file and right click. Let's create our new task. So today's our Java class is, let's give it a name that is the maximum finder. Let's press enter. So in this mini lab, we are going to declare method maximum with 3 double type parameters, and within this method we are going to find the maximum numbers within these 3 numbers. So what we have to do now here is let's first create our main method. And okay, let's leave it empty now and let's think of our maximum method here. So let's say public static double maximum. So suppose that you are given 3 double numbers, which is x, y, z, okay? So that is double x, double y, and double z. And let's write our curly brackets. All right, let's see what's the problem now. That means missing return statement. That means we are going to return something, right? Because here we define the return type is a double. Okay, let's put some return here. So what are we going to return? We are going to return the maximum of x, y, and z. If you are familiar with the Java API, there's supposed to be something like, okay, maximum, right, x and y. And once you have this one, you can still get a nested max with z. And there's supposed to be some API looks like this. However, in this mini lab, we are not using the API. We are going to write our own logic to compare x and y, y and z, or x and z. So what we are going to do now here is let's declare an instance variable named maximum value to hold the maximum of these 3 numbers. That is suppose double maximum value. Okay, let's initiate it as x because this value must be one of the x, y, and z. So let's make it first as x. And then let's make comparison if y is bigger than maximum value. Here we are comparing x and y, right? Because currently we assign the value of x to the maximum value. So here is comparing the if y bigger than x, right? So suppose this is true. Okay, let's move the right curly brackets in the next line. If this is true, so we'll make the maximum value to be y, right? So we'll have to shift. Maximum value is supposed to be y. Otherwise, what is the otherwise? Otherwise, the maximum would be x, right? Since we have defined the x here, maximum value is equal to x, so we can avoid writing the default one. And the next, we have our another comparison that if z is bigger than maximum value, right? So what are we going to do? So if z is bigger than it, we will assign this value to the maximum value. So let's think about the logic here. So here we are comparing y and x. No matter which one is bigger, that we have already made this comparison, right? The first comparison, we will get the result, which is one of the biggest among x and y, no matter it is x or y, and then we will get into our next comparison, that is to compare the first maximum value with the d, which is referring to this one. So after comparing this one, we will finally get our maximum value. Suppose the maximum value currently is x, right? If z is bigger than x, that means, okay, minimum value is z. However, if z is smaller than x, we will keep the default initialization, which is maximum value is equal to x, as true. So that means the logic is valid here. What we'll have to do is just return the maximum value. And okay, that is done with this method. So the next is we are going to complete our main method here. So let's use the scanner to fetch some user input for the x, y, and z. Scanner system.in, and let's say we are double number 1 is it. Okay, let's change the variable's name. Okay, here we have 3 instance variable, which is number 1, number 2, and number 3. And we are going to pass it to the method maximum. And then let's first declare result. So we can call the maximum method, and we pass our number 1, number 2, and number 3 into this method, and the method will return the real maximum value of these 3 to the result. So what we'll have to do is just sort the maximum value is, let's use a plus sign to concatenate the maximum value. Alright, that is done with our Minilab. So let's try to run this one. So let's put some value 1, 2, 3, and it output that the maximum value is 3.0. And that is done with our Minilab.